It is wildly offensive that you would accuse President Trump of not protecting American interests in our country when he is the president that has shut down our borders, unlike Joe Biden. President Trump has done everything to make America safe, and you asked me the question, and keep America safe.
Do you
and
know
you're trying to play a gotcha question at a budget hearing when you have murders left and right in your state, violent crimes, and we are doing everything we can to help your liberal state. Whether you're liberal or not, we're going to do everything we can to help the citizens of your state, and you're trying to avoid that because you're trying to play a gotcha question with the President of the United States, and it's not going to work. We're here to talk about our budget for public safety.
As you just witnessed, Trump Attorney General Pam Bondi absolutely lost her mind several times while getting grilled by Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley. This happened during recent DOJ budget hearings. So what did Merkley ask that set off such a fiery and off-topic response from Bondi?
I want to know if when the president held his dinner for 220 individuals who purchased the most of his meme coins, were there foreign interests attending that dinner?
Senator, we're here to talk about the Department of Justice and my budget for the upcoming year. I would think that you would want to talk about the leader of the Sinaloa cartel who was living in Oregon, one of the top leaders. I would think that that's what you would want to talk about with me. When we captured him, he had $3 million cash in his home.
Attorney General, I know that you avoided the same question on the House side, but what we know is that many folks who attended this dinner were buying those coins because they wanted to influence U.S. policy. We had Mr. Javier Selgas, the head of Freight Technology, Inc., who said, I bought $2 million of these coins. I plan to buy $20 million because I want a favor from the president to change the policy regarding freight from Mexico to the United States. This solicitation of investments in his personal product, his meme coin, led to many people who were coming from foreign countries attending that dinner. Don't you think the American people have a right to know? And you said yourself you're very concerned about foreign influence on our government.
That's right. Calling out Trump's brazen corruption with his cryptocurrency scam and pressing Bondi to stop avoiding the question at hand was all it took for her to blow a fuse. Now, just in case you aren't familiar with some of the details on this one, some of it surrounding Trump's crypto venture, well, I want you to take a look at this.
Trump has made at least $350 million from this meme coin so far. He plans to sell as many as 800 million more of these coins after he's increased their price by announcing these dinners for its top buyers. In effect, Trump is a pay-to-play scheme that allows his biggest buyers in his coin to meet him in person and potentially influence him. And even possibly foreign nationals may see this as a way to bribe the president. In total, the president's meme coin and other crypto businesses have made almost $3 billion. But that's only the money we know about. There's an opaque web of Trump crypto and non-crypto businesses, including Trump Media Group and Truth Social, that make it incredibly hard to know how many coins he's sold or to whom, or whether he might have investments in other crypto companies.
The Trump administration is already kneecapping the efforts to enforce blatant fraud and crime in crypto, and they've disbarred the criminal DOJ unit that deals with that. They want to change regulations surrounding crypto to bring it further into mainstream finance. And the Journal is reporting on that as a policy issue. And if there wasn't so much self-enrichment going on, you could just have that debate. Is this good or bad? Is this a bubble? Is it risky? But when you have billions of Bitcoin coming into Trump's company and many, many donors giving meme coin donations to Trump, we have a bigger problem here.
His crypto dinner for all the people who shelled out a combined $148 million for Trump's meme coin being highlighted by critics like the New York Times editorial board as part of his, quote, culture of corruption. A $2 billion UAE investment into Trump's crypto company also raising red flags.
The Trump family saw an opportunity to go into crypto, to make a lot of money from crypto, and that is, in fact, exactly what they have done. And Donald Trump is one of the people who has been responsible for bringing crypto into the mainstream because it's been good for him politically, but it has also been quite good for him and his family financially.
So here's what's going on. Trump's crypto hustle is drawing major scrutiny. He is using it, of course, to fundraise, enrich loyalists, and skirt the traditional rules of campaign finance and accountability. And that is exactly why it is so dangerous. Crypto is decentralized and it's unregulated too, enough to let him move cash, reward allies, and punish enemies without ever stepping foot in a courtroom. That kind of power, unchecked, isn't just bad for democracy. It is potentially catastrophic for regular people who get caught in the crossfire while billionaires profit.
I do believe that as the leader of the Department of Justice, you should be concerned about foreign influence. There was obviously a lot of foreign influence and individuals who said they were there for that reason. And so will you appoint a special investigator to make sure that that foreign influence does not affect the policies of the United States of America?
I'm not going to tell you what I will or will not do, other than I will do everything to keep the people of your state safe, even though you don't want to talk about anything to do with your state because of the crime in your state. You also voted no on the Laken-Riley Act. We are doing everything we can to protect the citizens of this country. You also said that President Trump encouraged protest. It was the opposite. He's done everything he can to keep us safe, and he will continue to, as well as the Department of Justice.
It speaks volumes that you won't answer the question about transparency when the president is asking people to invest in his company and his products, and that foreigners are attending these events. I think transparency would be appropriate.
Bondi didn't even try to answer Merkley's questions. Instead, she pivoted to fear-mongering, dropping a whole lot of whataboutism, and also trying to make the hearing about immigration. That's their move every time, it seems. Distract, deflect, and stir up fear around immigrants and crime. Not just dishonest, it's calculated. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Are you going to recommend any ethics guidelines to make sure that foreign influence does not find its way in through the doors of the White House?
How do you characterize foreigners, the illegal aliens that have flowed into our country? Is that who you're talking about? You don't want to talk about them. You don't want to talk about the crime that has gone rampant throughout this country and your state.
Well, these hearings are a chance for us to ask questions, and I assure you I'm engaged in national security in many, many ways. But this also I am concerned about. And let me turn to a different piece of the puzzle, because the president also has another cryptocurrency called USD1. It is a stable coin. There was a request by UAE to produce AI chips that would go to UAE. The National Security Advisor of UAE is also the CEO of MGX. So after that request for those chips occurred, MGX then said, we will buy 2 billion with a B, of the president's coins. And then the president went to the Middle East and said, we will get you those AI chips. Does this sequence of events in which a foreign government asked for a big favor, and we had previously banned these chips to UAE because of the national security concerns. Then they buy $2 billion of the president's coins, and then the president goes to the Middle East and says, we will provide those chips. Does that sequence of events concern you about foreign influence on the United States of America?
The foreign influence on America that I would be concerned about if I were you was the Mexican national that resided in Oregon, who we just arrested, who had 384 pounds of methamphetamine. The foreign individual who I would be concerned about if I were a senator from Oregon is the Honduran drug trafficker who was residing in Portland for distributing fentanyl. The foreign national I would be concerned about if I was a Portland senator, an Oregon senator, is a Mexican national leader of a drug trafficking ring. Another one, fentanyl, firearms, fatal overdoses, all in your state.
You have made your point.
57,700 fentanyl pills and stolen firearms in Oregon. That's what we should work together on, not gotcha questions during a budget hearing.
Let me recognize Senator Merkley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The Attorney General certainly has made the point that she's very concerned about issues that I'm concerned about as well regarding the security of this country. But let the record note that in terms of foreign influence and the sale of foreign influence through the president's coins, she absolutely refuses to respond and instead turns to a whole list of different topics. I think it's important for the leader of the Justice Department of the United States to be very concerned about foreign influence, and I encourage you to take on that topic and not consider it an offense Democrats, that those of us who are concerned here, Democrats and Republicans, want Americans to make American decisions, not foreign influence being bought through crypto coins.
But Merkley held the line. He kept coming back to the facts. Trump's crypto grift, the potential for abuse, and the total lack of transparency. The most damning part of this, Bondi couldn't or wouldn't give straight answers. She dodged, she spun, and, well, of course, she weaponized the usual MAGA talking points to avoid admitting the truth. That hearing may have been about a budget, but it revealed everything about where Trump's priorities truly lie, and they don't include accountability.